What's up, everyone? My name is Michael DeLu. All right, and I want to thank you for even clicking on this episode of my podcast. Before I get to the episode, I would just like to ask that if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, comment on the video because it helps me tremendously in obtaining my long-term goals. All right, enjoy the episode. Let's go! Yes! All right. So my name is Michael DeLu. Today is Friday, October 8th. Friday, October 8th, 2021. And I'm really excited because it's episode 71. I'm inching closer and closer and closer to episode 100. Oh my God, I can't wait. Episode 100 is going to happen sometime in November. Nevertheless, I can't wait. I'm really, really excited. I did say Friday, October 8th, meaning yesterday was Thursday, meaning Thursday night football, meaning let's get into it. Yes, sir. All right, so yesterday on Thursday night football, NFC West was on full display. The Rams battling the Seahawks in Seattle. So that's always, anytime the Rams and the Seahawks get together, it's, get your popcorn ready because you're going to be entertained. First half wasn't too entertaining, but nevertheless, the game did catch us at speed, and it got really, really interesting down the stretch of the game. So the Rams defeated the Seahawks 26-17. That was the final score. And I don't really want to say it was a tale of two halves, but it kind of like, the first half versus the second half, completely different stories, both games. The first half ended with the Seahawks being up 7-3. It was kind of a real, I don't want to call it boring. I never want to call, there are some boring football games, but I don't want to call what I saw yesterday boring because I actually watched the majority of the first half. I actually fell asleep and then woke up and the game was done. And I was really, really disappointed because I was like, damn, I really wanted to watch the game. Nevertheless, from what I do remember watching and seeing, in the first half, it seemed like both teams were just trying their absolute hardest not to fucking score. Like it's the Rams get into the red zone. Matt Stafford gets pressured, rolls out, tries to throw the ball away, but actually throws the interception to Quandre Diggs. Okay, I guess. Another time, the Rams go down the field, only end up getting 3 points. Another time, Rams go down the field, get stopped. And I was watching the game like, bro, like, what's wrong with the Rams offense? Didn't look the sexiest in the first half. Nevertheless, and then even the first, I can't remember what possession it was where they went all the way down the field, and I'm not sure if they turned out, whatever. Seahawks, on the other hand, same thing. Both offenses were driving the ball down the field, and then when they would get to the red zone, nonsense will happen. The Seahawks got stopped on 4th and 2, tried to run the ball. I'm like, on 4th and 2, you try to run the ball at Aaron Donald? Are you crazy? Does that even make sense? Who the fuck called that play? The fuck? Another one, Jason Myers. First of all, let me speak on Jason Myers real quick. Jason Myers used to be the kicker for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know how bad of a kicker he is. It is so surprising to me the fact that he still has a job, let alone he's actually playing on a good team. It's crazy because he got cut by the Jaguars. He gets picked up by the Seahawks. And for I don't know how long he pretended to be a good kicker or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. He pretended to be a good kicker. He looked like a good kicker, whatever. But it's fine. We're finally starting to see how bad of a kicker he is. Or I've already seen it. I've seen it when he wore my team's favorite colors. I already saw it. So I'm not exactly too sure what damn, I don't even know. I can't even remember his name. His last name is Schneider. That's who cares? What he was thinking when he signed Jason Myers, but nevertheless, it is what it is. Y'all have fun with that. Like I said, Rams offense didn't look, and the Rams offense, it's so crazy because they didn't play their sexiest in the first half, but they finished off the game with over 400 total yards. Matthew Stafford had 360 something. They had over 100 yards rushing, And Matthew Stafford left some plays on the field. Missed some throws that could have, yeah. So, anyways, it's Taylor two halves because at the end of the game, the Rams were able to put up 26 points. So they put up 19 points in a half, and they won the game convincingly. I mean, part of that was because Russell Wilson got hurt, but nevertheless, I honestly think that would have happened regardless. But nevertheless, second half, it seemed like Robert Woods was just wide open on every single play. It seemed like every single time he was on the field and decided to run a route, he got open. He had 10 catches in the second half. 10 catches in the second half. That honestly, as a defense, for us to allow somebody to catch the ball 10 times in one half on us, that is bad football. That's bad coaching. That's bad football. The DBs are getting toasted. Like, what the fuck is happening? Robert Woods isn't even a top 10 receiver in the league. I fuck with Robert Woods. No, this is no disrespect to Robert Woods at all. I fuck with Robert Woods. As I'm saying this, I'm looking directly at the wall of my studio. There is a USC Trojans decal on the wall. I've been a Trojan fan since 2005, but I got to call it spade a spade. Robert Woods isn't even a top 10 receiver in the league. How the hell is Robert Woods getting 10? Oh, Seahawks defense, man. Oh, my God. That shit was bad. Oh, my God. Robert Woods had 10 plus catches in the second half. And it's crazy that he was able to do that because after the conclusion of the game against the Cardinals on Sunday, Sean McVay said that this upcoming week they're going to emphasize getting Robert Woods the ball, involving him more in the offense, getting him really, really going because Matthew Stafford, as soon as he got to LA, clicked with Cooper Kupp. It seemed like that was a seamless, like that didn't even take any time whatsoever. Like he was able to do that, like snap his fingers. Not Robert Woods. Cooper Kupp was just him and Robert Woods were. I'm sorry, him and Matthew Stafford were just clicking like it was no man's business. And coming into week 4, Cooper Kupp was the leading receiver in every single category: receiving yards, touchdowns, and catches, and receiving touchdowns. So the chemistry is already there. They have to get Robert Woods going again, and they were able to do that last night, which is part of why they were able to win the way they did. And then on top of that, they got a contribution from the run game. Sony Michel came to play. Darrell Henderson came to play. Both of them picked up rushing touchdowns in the second half. That was the difference for the Rams. And the Rams defense stepped up. And like I said, also part of it was the fact that Russell Wilson did pick up a fucking injury on one of his fingers. That shit looked bent out of shape, broken. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Hopefully, and knowing Russell Wilson, it was obviously serious for the fact that it was obviously serious, which is why he didn't play the remainder of the game. Russell Wilson is an Iron Man. He has the longest streak of active starts in the league at over 100 and something. So the fact that he wasn't able to play in the second half kind of spells that this is something that actually is very serious because Russell Wilson is not a bitch. Russell Wilson has played through injuries before. If he can go, he will go. And the fact that he wasn't able to go says a lot. That probably I don't know what that's going to spell for the Seahawks because they're looking like they're really in a bad spot right now. Matthew Stafford, 25 of 37, 365 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Darrell Henderson, 17 carries, 82 yards, a touchdown. Sony Michel, 11 carries, 37 yards, a touchdown. Robert Woods had 12 catches for 150 yards. Cooper Kupp had 7 catches for 92 yards. Collectively, that's 19 catches for over 260 yards. That is the bulk of the offense right there. Deshaun Jackson had 1 catch for 68 yards. Rams offense in the second half deserve flowers. They did their shit. Now, after I've given the roses to who deserves the roses, the Seahawks. Oh my God. So Russell, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy to blame. Oh, the Seahawks lost this game because Russell Wilson dislocated his finger. No. Regardless of Russell Wilson dislocating his finger or not, they would have lost that game. I'm not entirely convinced that if that didn't happen, they would have won the game because of the trajectory and the way the Rams defense was playing in the second half, and the fact that, I'm gonna keep it 100. The Seahawks offense they weren't executing and firing on all cylinders to begin with. Like they weren't the sex. Like, man, oh my God. I don't think the Seahawks would have won the game, but definitely I feel like they would have had more meaningful drives if Russell Wilson was healthy. But that's not going to equate to a win, and it didn't. And like I said, I'll put money on that. I'll bank on that didn't happen, and that wasn't going to happen. Like I said, the main reason why the Seahawks lost last night is because their defense was fucking atrocious. As a defense, they gave up over 400 yards of offense. It doesn't matter what game you're playing, if you're playing Madden, if you're playing 2K, if you're playing FIFA, if your defense is getting cooked, more than likely you are going to lose that game. I noted earlier the fact that Robert Woods was able to get it going and had 10 catches in the second half. That should never fucking happen. As a defense, well, that again, why are you letting a receiver that is not top 5, top 10 in the league go off for that much? How do you expect to win when that's happening? What? Like, how is he's getting open every single play? How do you expect to win? How do you expect to win? That doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm no expert in football, whatever. Like, the highest my football career ever went was high school. But I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not an NFL expert. But nigga. And by expert, I mean I'm not a head coach. Head coaches are presumably experts at the game of football, especially someone like Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, whatever, who have been doing this for quite a long time. You would think, and I'm speaking to Pete Carroll and his defensive staff. You would think they would at some point of the game, we need to stop or slow down Robert Woods. He's cooking us. He's killing us. We need to account for him every time he lines up. We need to fix something. Slow him down. Something. None of that should happen. Seahawks are 0-2 at home, fall to 2-3 on the season, which is not very good considering their division is not a cakewalk at all. They're probably the worst team in their division, and they're a pretty good team if you ask me. So, and this is really bad for them considering how tightly contested their division is going to be all the way until the very end. The Rams improved to 4-1 right now. Even if the Cardinals lose on Sunday, they'll still be 4-1. The 49ers can go 3-2, while the Seahawks are sitting at 2-3. That's not very good. I mean, then again, the fucking 49ers could lose again and be 2-3 just like them. But I mean, nobody wants to be in last place in the division, and that's exactly where they are sitting right now. I want to give big props to Geno Smith though. Geno Smith is one of those guys that honestly I didn't even think was still in the league. I mean, I can't remember exactly when it was during the game, but there was a shot of the sideline, and I seen Geno Smith sitting on the sideline. I was like, damn, he's still in the league. Like, Geno Smith is still getting paid to play football. Like, well, not play, but be on an active roster. Like, what? So, but he came in and he immediately led a very meaningful drive, which ended up in a score. The drive started on the 2-yard line, and he walked them down 98 yards. Geno Smith played really good considering the situation he was in. And he did throw an interception at the end, but it was not his fault. Geno Smith finished off with 10 of 17 for 131 yards and a touchdown to DK Metcalf in the back of the end zone. And the interception that he did throw, not on him, and I'm not too sure whose fault it is because Tyler Lockett did fall. I'm not sure if he was tripped or he felt the contact and decided to throw himself against the ground, hoping that he would get a call or something like that. But that pass was intercepted because Geno threw it to where he thought Tyler Lockett was going to be, not to exactly where he was ended up at because, like I said, he did fall. But nevertheless, that was to tell the game. It is what it is. Russell Wilson, 11 of 16, 152 yards, touchdown, interception. Geno Smith, 10 of 17, 131, a touchdown and interception. Absolutely no contribution from the running game whatsoever. Alex Collins, 15 carries, 47 yards. They also didn't have Chris Carson. I'm not too sure exactly what's going on with Rashad Penny. DK Metcalf, great game, 5 receptions, 98 yards, a touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 5 receptions, 57 yards, and that is the ball game. Okay, so Nation League semifinal. Belgium chokes away a 2-goal lead to France. France ends up winning 3-2 because Theo Hernandez, shout out AC Milan, scores the game-winning goal that sends France into the Nation League's final against Spain on Sunday. So Yannick Carrasco opened up the scoring. Romelu Lukaku scored in the first half as well, and I honestly want to say that might have been the best goal I have ever seen Romelu Lukaku score. I'm gonna emphasize this shit again because that shit was that beautiful. The goal that Romelu Lukaku scored, and as I rewatched the highlights, I did not think that was going to be the goal that he scored because the angle that he took seemed damn near impossible to score from. And as a Chelsea fan, I need to see more of that. If Romelu Lukaku is scoring against nations like France in not even in friendlies, in games that matter, there should be no reason why he shouldn't be scoring against Manchester City, against Juventus. He needs oh my God. Even though and despite that Belgium did lose, I'm not from Belgium, so I really don't care whether they win or lose. I just want to see. I don't care where a lot of the players that play for Chelsea, whether they win for their nations or not, because I just want to see them play. I just want to see them look good and play good, honestly, so they can carry that same form into that blue jersey. All right, that's what the fuck I want. That's what I want, and I was honestly impressed by Lukaku in the game that he played. Nevertheless, he did leave some opportunities, some goals out there. But like I said, best goal I've ever seen him score. And this game was honestly a tale of two halves. End of the first half is 2-0 because Belgium is the more superior side. They are attacking at a better rate. They are pressing at a better rate. They are defending at a better rate. And I also want to note and point out that just because the score was 2-0 doesn't mean that France played piss poor. France actually created a lot of good opportunities, but most of the opportunities went straight to Thibaut Courtois. So they were good. They were good chances. Like, they created shots, but I guess the shot I don't want to say shot selection, but the quality of the shot wasn't the best because it wasn't really challenging the keeper. It wasn't challenging Courtois at all. And then on top of that, then not being challenging, he's also a very good keeper, so he's really hard to beat at times. So if you are going to create shots and opportunities against him, they have to count and they have to stick. And that's exactly what happened in the second half for France. Honestly, second half, France turned, I don't know exactly what it is, what happened, or what was said in the locker room, but France turned on the fucking burners for the second half. They pressed higher, they played harder, and what was the turning point, in my opinion, was the fact that Griezmann, Mbappe, and Karim Benzema were able to finally start clicking. Benzema carried his form from Madrid to France, and he scored an amazing goal. I've seen him score a lot of great goals, so I can't say that was the best one I've ever seen him score, but he scored a quality goal. He's one of the top him, Lukaku, Lewandowski, top strikers in the world. Karim Benzema is a problem, and I am it's really great to see the fact that he is doing what he's doing in the French shirt, because the simple fact that the last time before the Euro 2020, the last time Karim Benzema represented France in a major tournament was not even the Euros in 2016. It was the World Cup in 2014. So it has been some time. He didn't represent them in the Euros in 2016. Didn't represent them in the World Cup. So it's been 7 years. 7 years since the last time I seen Didier Drogba. I was going to say Didier Drogba. since the last time I seen Karim Benzema do what he's doing right now in France. Karim Benzema in the 2014 World Cup scored against Honduras, scored against Switzerland, scored against Nigeria. Like, he was scoring quality goals for France, and it is good to see that that's continuing to happen. The second goal, which was a penalty that was converted by Kylian Mbappe, was awarded to France by VAR because Yuri Tielemans fouled Antoine Griezmann. It took some time. It took some time to get the decision, whatever. But France is awarded the penalty, and instead of Karim Benzema taking the penalty, he hands it to Kylian Mbappe, who scores a screamer and puts it past Thibaut Courtois. And I honestly want to emphasize how big of a moment that is for France and France football, because of the simple fact that it has been discussed that, France aren't the best, aren't really clicking as a team. There's drama amongst the squad, X, Y, and Z. That right there shows Mbappe trusts Benzema and Benzema trusts Mbappe. They're linking up. They're looking good right now for France, and they're probably going to carry that. Not probably. They will carry that same partnership momentum into next season when Kylian Mbappe does finally sign for Real Madrid. Okay? And then the very last goal, Theo Hernandez, game-winning goal. Oh, my God. In stoppage time in the 91st minute. Incredible. Shout out to him making AC Milan fans proud. Oh, my God. That was such a great goal. And then also I want to emphasize that even though Belgium did choke away their lead, they did not actually – they created chances in the second half. They could have converted it. This could have easily went to extra time. And because, like I said, they did miss some chances in the second half that they could have converted. But nevertheless, it was a very, very good game. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the fact that, all these big nations are taking these games so seriously. Like, if you guys, anybody saw the game earlier the week where Italy lost to Spain, the Spanish team was so excited and so happy after that win because they're playing in the Nations League final. So anytime we get to see quality games during the international break, my heart is overwhelmed with joy. Anytime that happens, that is great for me. That makes me so happy. That makes me ecstatic. I love sports. I love soccer. I don't even think people really understand how much I love soccer, but nevertheless, it is what it is. Shout out to the France team for finally putting together. This French team won the World Cup in 2018, heavily underperformed in the Euros. They got bounced out in I think, if I'm not mistaken, the round of 16 in a penalty shootout. So it's good to see them, getting back to where they should be, because France, at the very least, with the quality of players that they have, Paul Pogba, Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann, Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante. I mean, they have really, 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 really good players. So France shouldn't be exiting any tournament, anything until the semifinal at the very least. France should either be winning these tournaments, making it to the final, or losing in the semifinal at the very least. At the very least, okay? Other than that, anything else is considered a letdown. Losing in the quarterfinal, letdown. Losing in the round of 16, letdown. Not making it out the group stage, oh my God. Didier Deschamps needs to be fired. I'll just throw that out there. Last thing I want to talk about today, before I end today's podcast, is Newcastle United. Okay, so one of the things that separates soccer from all the other sports that I talk about is the fact that there's no such thing as a salary cap. There's no such thing as a luxury tax. There's no such thing as any of that. Like, if, for example, Luka Doncic, right? So Luka Doncic plays for the Dallas Mavericks, and he's, at this point in his career, he's probably considered the most high-valued player in the NBA, because considering his age and how good of a player he is. Like, Luka Doncic's value on the open market, if teams wanted to bid for him, would be much higher than Giannis, because he's actually a better player than Giannis, and he is 5 or 4 years younger than Giannis. So if Luka Doncic were a soccer player and he went up in the open market, he would probably some team would probably, it would be a bidding war, and Luka Doncic would go to probably the team that wants to pay the highest for his services. So the Dallas Mavericks could make possibly up to $750 million if they decided to sell him. And I bring this all up to say that in soccer, unlike all these other teams, there's no, like I said, no salary cap or anything like that. So most of the best teams in the world are the teams that have the richest teams in the world. So the teams that have the most success, the best players are usually the teams that make the most money. Those are the biggest clubs and X, Y, and Z. So if you have a team, and like I said, money matters. So knowing money matters, essentially a team can go from one of the worst teams in the league to the best team in the league if the right thing happens. And the right thing happened for Newcastle United yesterday. Newcastle United was purchased for £305 million. Their owner, Mike Ashley, finally decided to sell the club after 14 years of nonsense. And in those 14 years, they've been relegated twice. As I'm speaking right now, Newcastle United are 19th in the Premier League. He sold the club to a Saudi public fund who have an estimated net worth of 596 billion euros. Not million, billion euros. 596 billion euros. Do you know how much fucking money that is? Do you know how much money 596 million is? Imagine $596 billion. That's so much fucking money. As of right now, I don't know if everything legally went through or if it was everything has been finalized, but once it is, Newcastle United will now be the richest club in the game of football. Richer than PSG, richer than Manchester City, richer than Barcelona, richer than Chelsea, richer than Real Madrid, richer than Manchester United, richer than Bayern Munich. They have more money. They're the richest team in the world, richest team in the Premier League, have more money than all the top 6 sides combined. More money than Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham, Everton. All these teams have way more money than them combined. As of right now, Newcastle can now afford any player they want, any coach they want. They can build a new stadium. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And for Newcastle United fans, I can understand how exciting this is to have an owner with deep pockets come in and have the resources to change everything. I look at what Chelsea, I'm a Chelsea fan. I've been a Chelsea fan since 2012. I look at what the impact that Roman Abramovich had on Chelsea. Roman Abramovich doesn't even have anywhere near the pocket. He's a billionaire. Roman Abramovich is probably like, I think if I'm not mistaken, his net worth is probably like 5, 6, 7, 8 billion, something like that. Somewhere in a single digit billions. The Newcastle United owners collectively have almost 600 billion. Since Roman Abramovich took over at Chelsea, they've won 2 Champions Leagues, 5 Premier Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, FA Cups, Carling Cups, a bunch of shit. So I can only imagine what's going to happen in Newcastle United. And I'm really excited that a new power is in, a new, like, oh my God. I really think this is really good for the Premier League. This is really good for football. And I'm just really excited, honestly. Like, and shout out to the fans of Newcastle United. They were celebrating in front of St. James Park as if they had won the Premier League because it wouldn't surprise me in the next couple of years if they do. They will be playing like once they start, like what they're gonna start doing now is probably just, even if they can't get the biggest and most popular players, they can get the brightest young prospects in England. They can sign all of them. They can sign every single one of every English teams. They can sign their best prospects and guarantee them first team time and guarantee them first. And they could get a hell of a coach. Oh, Newcastle can turn this around by the end. If Newcastle is able to, granted they are 19th in the Premier League right now. I mean, so they can't spend like crazy in the January transfer window. But the thing is, even if they don't turn it around this season, next season, even if they don't turn it around and stick around, if they get relegated, they'll be right back in the Premier League for the 2023-2024 season. Because this one is 2021, 2022. Next one, if they get relegated, they'll be playing in the championships for 2022-23. So 2023-2024, they can finish as a top four side. I know for a fact they can do that. Off the fact that they got all this bread, oh no, it's over with. It's over with. So I'm really excited to see how this plans out. How this, like, because I know exactly what Roman Abramovich buying Chelsea and pumping in millions and millions of pounds into the club did for the club. And within the first year, they're probably going to spend $1 billion on new facilities, new stadium, coaches, players, all types of shit. So salute, and I'm so happy for Newcastle United fans. My name is Michael DeLu. This is the end of today's podcast. It's the end of episode 71. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell anybody you know about my podcast. Viral, movie, long live Kobe, long live Gigi. I'm out.